one big ass document hyperlinks out of it. So we're gonna run through this, and there's definitely going to be some Q&A throughout the week. So feel free to ask and tune in and make sure that you really can absorb this, because there's a lot to chew on here. But as you break it into its pieces, I'm confident you'll find that it's very clearly doable. And it's very clearly written out as far as, okay, here's where this goes here, here's where this goes there. And ultimately, when you really feel into and think about what this all is, it's not that complicated. We're inviting people to a live event. We're having enrollment conversations. We're having discovery calls. We're creating a group coaching program. There's like 5 things that are the big components of all of this. And you've got real clear instructions on how to bring it to life. So I promise you it's easier than it thinks. So along with this big doc, which we're going to go through here, we've got 2 really awesome bonuses. So this guy here is Brian Mayoral, and these recordings are from some of our other mastermind groups. And he is Tony Robbins's #1 sales trainer. He literally holds the record for the most enrollments for Tony Robbins coaching in the world. And he is super ethical. He's super non-pushy, non-salesy. His program is called Ethical Influence. And he literally charges $25,000 for a keynote speech. And you've got like over 2 hours of his training here. Yeah, 2.5 hours of his trainings that I'm going to send you in this week as well. And it's great. It's really, really, really solid stuff. We're also going to walk through the event flow for Stage 3, so that you really see behind the scenes of how things went and what all those beats in the process were, and what you guys saw that either seemed like chaos or seemed like a well-organized system, but there was intentionality at every single point of the process to make sure that you were getting value out of it, that it was engaging, that it was what it was. And then we got this brief form here, which we'll break down briefly, and that's like 10 questions tops. Any questions on any of that right there? Okay, cool. All right. So the first thing I want us to focus on is what I call ceremonial selling. And that is really giving people the experience of and the really heartfelt creation of a ceremony between you. Like, you're inviting people into a big decision in their life and feeling safe to show up in their fullness, to share the things they're scared about, to share the things that they love. That is what creates the magic. So make sure you have your mission statement handy, and make sure that you feel the why of what you do more than the fear of what you do not. And that is like the crux of it right there, is that we're all going to be tempted to either fall into fear or fall into our passion. And just like Tom showed, when we confront those fears, magic happens. I have an affirmation that you can modify at your choosing, and this is this one really works for me. And, I'm going to skim through this and kind of just grab pieces as we go, but there's a lot of really concentrated detail in here, even though it might seem a little overwhelming. But making people feel safe to say yes, safe to say no, focusing on your own energy, your own inner work. Those are some of the most important things. Focusing on the relationships, and focusing on being totally okay when this is where the real limiting beliefs are going to show up. I haven't done this before. Who am I? I don't have a PhD. I'm not an insert accolade here. Doesn't matter. All right. That's not the point. The point is creating an amazing experience for them, sharing awesome knowledge, which you have, which does not require a PhD. It requires your heart, your passion, your enthusiasm, your certainty of the value, your enthusiasm of how great this thing is, and sharing from the heart. And then presenting the opportunity and saying, this is it. This is what we're doing. This is how awesome it's going to be. And then making it safe for them to say no and say yes. So that's just a real important frame to speak to first. So where we're going to start first off is the event flow itself. And then we're going to go into the tactical pieces that lead up to that. So this is what you're going to complete for this week. So it's not in a Google form, but this is where you are going to have some opportunities to fill things out. So here are the 3 pillars. So as you may recall at the beginning of our event, it was, here's how to shine on stage, here's how to create your offer, here's how to build your dream team. Bam, bam, bam. So you're going to talk about those 3 things at the beginning. You have a who I am not, what I believe, and making it really clear that you're here to teach. You're here to give them real, tangible value that could easily be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Like, you are all going to get massive value out of this experience. And lots of people would pay lots of money. And frankly, I paid lots of money and lots of time to give you this, but I'm here just to give it to you for free because I love you and because this is what I love to do. Setting expectations, how to learn, backstories, client backstories, breakout rooms, breakout debrief exercises. There's a whole bunch of awesome details in here. And this is a really, really concentrated, really point by point experience of how to build out your event. So if you don't know how it's all going to go, you don't know what to do, I promise you, everything you need to rock it is right here. And if you just fill this out, you can go deep within yourself and utilize the forms you've done, go back into that information and fill this out. You will have every single thing you need. Promise you. Any questions on that so far?
Is this event, is this an in-person, like the Oreo event, or is this like the 2-day workshop event that we're guiding through?
Yeah. So this is the workshop. So, and I'm going to skim over this a bit more, and then we'll go into the actual. So these are my actual notes from Stage Secrets. Like, this is literally on my screen, glancing back and forth between the camera and this Google Doc while we were going through that together. Okay. And this is who I am. This is who I am not. These are my stories. These are my transformations. These are my backstories. This is all of it.
Sweet.
Yep. And you'll get access to all this stuff. The big transition here at the end is the offer. This, of course, is very germane to what we're going to be talking about here today. And the beautiful thing about this offer, the structure that I love, that is super different, and the reason I'm teaching on this and endorsing it and doing all this is because it doesn't have that typical pressure. It doesn't have the countdown clock and the timer. And I know, Fernando, you mentioned some of those things, which can be effective. They can work, and they have worked, and people made millions, if not billions of dollars using those methods. And speaking for myself, and probably more than one of us, we've been on those calls. It feels weak. It feels forced. It doesn't feel like in a flow. It doesn't feel like emotional and heart-centered and easy. It doesn't. I don't like how it feels, and people are tired of it. They've been there, done that. So our model is literally, you just teach through the offer. And I'll also share the I think I already have shared, but I'll share it again. The way I present the offer in day 2, where it's almost just like, oh, and yeah, by the way, here's how we do it. Here's our offer. It's $9,700, a discount for this, discount for that. And okay, cool, guys. We'll see you on the feedback calls. It's almost that brief. It's more detailed than that, because you want to make sure that people are clear on what it is, but you're not there to sell it. You're not there to push anything. You're just here to say, look, here's the structure. Here's how we build our offer. Here's how we've structured it. It's freaking awesome. And here's everything that you get with it. Any questions? No? Okay, cool. Moving on. And that's me in character of the event. And it really creates like a beautiful confusion. And if any of y'all want to share your experience from that moment, you're welcome to. But it's like, wait a minute, like, I want it, but am I being sold to? Am I not? Can I have it? Can I not have it? And it's this really awesome sort of shift in the tension where, I don't like to use the term takeaway sale, but there's like kind of an essence of that in there, because it's like, we're all expecting to be sold something, but at the end of it, we're just like, oh, well, that was nice. And we're going to talk on Tuesday. Okay, cool. I share my feedback. All right, great. It's on my calendar. I'll see you Tuesday. And then it's like, and then we'll go into the flow of how those calls go. And that's also super light. It's just like, okay, cool. Did you see the offer? Do you have any confusion about it? What were your biggest aha moments? What really hit for you? And we'll go into that script and process too. but it's beautiful. I love this. Um, so a closing circle and that's that. And so there's a lot of details here, but you'll see that when you really, really just feel into it and think about it, it's not complicated. Like it's really, if you can do your taxes, you can easily do this. I promise. We've got some IG DM outreach scripts, which are super helpful. So, and again, you'll see the tone is like, hey, love your message. Have you ever thought about leading retreats to Bali? Well, I've helped 20 different yoga teachers from all around the world do this. I want to be giving away all my secrets on Tuesday at 3:00. Love to give you a guest pass and let me know if it's interesting to you. What? Yeah, I want that. Sure. I've been rocking women's worlds and showing them their divine femininity, and it's so great. And I thought you might enjoy it. Okay. Like, and that's the magic of the value debt. It's the magic of just giving people great stuff and then letting the laws of reciprocity do their thing. And it's so easy. It's just so not forced or pushy. The goal for this is 100 discovery calls, which is a lot. It's a high bar. But if you want to rock this thing and you want to really enroll a lot of people, set a big goal, and it's totally doable.
The discovery calls are happening after you're offering this to them, or or before getting people to come to the offer. Because I mean, like, I do so many calls and Zoom calls already. Like, is that one of the discovery calls?
Perfect question. So the discovery call would come after they register. So so that the easiest way, and we're going to build out, this will be part of your site and everything that we're building for you. So after they register, they'll get a email and a text to register for their discovery call. And and then for those of you that don't have that part of the program, their easiest, lightest way to possibly do it, pardon me, is to create a Zoom registration page. That is extremely easy. There's nothing to it. It takes 5 minutes. And then when they register for that, you code into the confirmation email, click here to book your call, and you're going to capture their email and their phone number, and it's up to you to follow up with them. Text them, email them. You can use a Calendly link if you can, but if not, just get them on the phone and have the conversation. Like the easiest, most super basic way, Zoom registration page, and then manual reach out to them. The more sophisticated you get, the more automations there are, a little bit more challenging to set up, but definitely saves you a lot of time in the management. You've also got a big list of landing page examples here, and also a great template, which is the landing page structure. And these aren't obviously the words you're going to use, but this is a really great format and structure, which is super easy. And this can be built in a lot of different programs. You could literally, if you really want to keep it crazy basic, you can literally build it in a Google Doc. I've taken some shockingly expensive courses and programs that had like absurdly basic infrastructure to them. So whatever you're capable of creating technologically, go for it. And don't worry. ClickFunnels and High Level and some of these other programs are also very easy. If you spend a couple hours studying on YouTube, you can totally build it out in there. There is an element on that page for a video, and these are the bullet points to put into that video and to describe in there. Again, super paint by numbers. You can absolutely do this. There is a series of confirmation emails, which you can build out. And if you use an automation email program, you can build these into that automation, and they will automatically get sent out when people register, and will remind them to attend. You got a calendar invite, you got a 5 days out reminder. And this is where, again, the rubber hits the fifth dimension, because reminding people, staying on their mind, being in their face after they register is really important. And that's where a little bit of pushing this makes a huge difference. And they've already committed. You're not selling the event. You're just saying like, hey, remember, we all have so much going on. And that's where like, you really got to remind them, hey, I'm awesome. This is going to be awesome. You're going to have a great experience. Make sure you're there. And that's where you've got great templates to copy and paste into your worlds. And then once they do attend, pardon me, once they do register, sorry, Debbie, I couldn't help laugh at you.
Working it out, working it out.
It's great. Get comfortable in your body. It's awesome. So here's the discovery call. So this is what's going to happen before the event, but after they register for it. And it's a really simple, just inquisitive, curious, cool, cozy conversation. So, hey, I saw that you're a tantra coach in Thailand. What's up with that? Yeah, what are you creating right now? Like, what's next in your world? Like, tell me what you're up to. And we all want to talk about things we're excited about. So people are always like, "Oh man, I'm doing this thing and blah 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 blah. It's going to be so great. Oh man, it's so cool." Okay, cool. Well, can I tell you a quick story about me and kind of why we're talking about this? Yeah, awesome, cool. Well, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. And if you're new to this world, that's okay. But however you express your authority, your enthusiasm, just your like personal transformation and your personal desire to do this, and the things that you have been through, that's enough. Like that really is enough, as long as it's relatable to them and they can see themselves in your struggles and your successes, and just they can feel an emotional connection with you. That is enough, because you're going to tell them, you're going to give them a ton of value. So don't worry that if you don't feel like you have 20 years of doing this thing. Pardon me. So then the really important question here, and this is in marketing speak, this is hypothesis-based questioning, which is really powerful. And rather than just saying like, so, hey, what do you want to get out of this experience? Which honestly can work. An even better way of saying it is, most people I'm talking to, they want to grow their following, they want to network with amazing people, they want to sell high ticket courses, or they want to stop being an alcoholic, they want to enjoy their emotions better, whatever your three main benefits are that come from the forms, which they're going to be useful, I promise. Like, you want to list out those three main problems or benefits, and just ask them, is that what you're looking for, or is you looking for something else? And then just wait, and they'll either tell you, yeah, man, I want that so bad, I'm freaking dying. Or it's like, well, yeah, it's that. And it's like these 5 other really important things to me. Oh, that's so cool. We're going to talk all about that also. You're going to love it. And then really important questions after that. So why is that so important? Because it's my dream, it's my life, it's my love, and I'm dying inside, whatever that is. Okay, cool. Like, why is it important now? Well, Okay, awesome. What are the obstacles? What do you feel like is missing? Are you looking for more structure or more emotional support? And then get them to be comfortable telling you what they want. And that's where you're selling without selling, because literally they're saying, hey, I want a ham sandwich. I want this. I want that. I want all these different things. Like, okay, cool. Well, I'll be right back. Here you go. It's $15. and that's really it. And then confirm it. Like, you want to make sure that these things get confirmed throughout everything we're doing. So it sounds like you want this and that and this. Does that sound about right? Yeah, that's it. Okay, great. Well, look, just quick backstory on Auria, or on how to insert your business here. Well, look, when we started out, we, and be honest, but, speak to similar things. Like, we had imposter syndrome and didn't know how to do this, and we're da 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 da. And then we sought out awesome people, made lots of mistakes, learning lessons, da 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 da. And then you want to, again, just mirror their emotions, be relevant, and then share the breakthrough. And then when we finally pulled it all together, we had the mentors, we had the process, we had the emotional support where we didn't feel like we were like alone in the desert. Then we had this amazing breakthrough and we did this awesome thing. And now here we are. And then just wait and let them go, wow, sweet, great. Okay. Well, that sounds awesome. Okay, cool. Do you have any questions? No, I'm super pumped. Like, this sounds great. Like, thank you. This is all free. Yeah, it's all free. You're going to love it. Okay, sweet. Great. And they're just going to be super excited, and it's just super easy. And that's it. And then say, okay, great. Well, look, make sure you're there. One thing I didn't put here actually is there is an agreement you want to ask for. So, it's agreement on the appreciation or the exchange for attending, which is, please make sure you're on the whole time with your camera on so we all feel connected and fully enrolled in the process. Can you do that? And yeah, no, I can do that. Cool. And they're gonna feel excited about it because you're giving them so much. So it's totally, you really want to make sure you ask for this, because otherwise you run the risk of people just sort of like putting you off to the side and doing their dishes. You really want to make sure that their whole attention is present with you. Fernando.
Yeah, so just to communicate my understanding of having a discovery call after they've registered for a free event. So you're not actually selling anything on this discovery call, but it sounds like to me is that you're just getting them more excited about what the event is about, so they actually attend it and they attend it fully.
Yes. And so that they attend, which is obviously a very crucial part to all of us, that they're excited about it, they're emotionally invested in it, that they have a major positive expectation of the results they're going to get, that they feel heard and seen and listened to, and that that you then, and when you have the discovery call, you're going to be taking notes on everybody in a Google Doc or on a piece of paper. I would suggest on a computer, so it's easier to stay organized, which very easy. And then when you have the feedback calls, you say, hey, Fernando, man, thank you so much for joining us. Man, I loved our conversation where you told me about this awesome festival you're doing and these speakers and these sponsors and man, all this cool stuff. Like, how'd you feel? Like, did we give you value? Did you feel like that we got you closer to that goal? Yeah, you did. That was super great. Like, these are really okay, cool. Like, what really stood out to you? And like, and you're using the information, in those conversations, but you're just showing them a sign of respect and like caring about what they care about, and having an informed conversation and creating a relationship. And none of us want to have what we say forgotten. All of us like to feel like people remember what we're talking about. And so yeah. Does that land or something else on that?
We know it works. We're all here. We all went through this process. We're all here. So I'm just like, yes, I'm glad that I could just utilize this. It's like,
awesome.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Good job, Jackson.
Thank you. My pleasure. And I've added my sauce to this, but a lot of this is, courses and programs I paid a lot of money for. So, it's not all me. I'll be honest about that, but it works. The feedback calls, again, you want to go into that ceremonial place, really connect into your heart, connect into theirs, go back into that mission statement. And it's your state of being, the way that you sound, the way that you show up, the way you invite them into a heartfelt conversation where they're probably going to be talking about some difficult things. That is what creates the bedrock of the conversations. Like going on a date and someone's texting when they sit down at the table, like that doesn't, okay, what the fuck am I doing here? But if they're like, hey man, I loved that message you sent me, and I love this great song that we exchange, and you've got something to go on, that's a whole different thing. So these are just kind of the bullet points. Like asking permission is like, is it okay if I ask you some kind of like tough questions as part of this process? Or is it okay if we kind of like talk about like what's really showing up for you that's preventing you from doing these things? And the more that happens, the more that you're really stepping into a new paradigm of business. And the more that people are going to be like, wow, okay, yeah, this is different. Like this is not what I was expecting. Relationship is crucial. The context, absolutely. And there's, like I said, I'm gonna skip over some of this. The pre-frame, this is one of the most important parts, is like, you're not pushing, you're not like needy. It's like, look, I'm here to make people's dreams come true. And I'm here to see if you're a right fit for the community. And if you are, awesome. We're going to rock out together. Like, get ready for an awesome adventure. And if not, totally cool. No problem. No pressure. So this is one of the first questions. So, when you guys hop on the call, it's like, hey, really love your feedback. We'd love to see what your biggest takeaways are, what landed for you. We can see how I can support you further. If we can, awesome. If not, totally cool. So, what really landed? Like, what did you love? What really stood out to you? And then they're going to start telling you everything. Really important. Don't talk too much. Ask questions. It's really tempting, as once you're in that relationship mode, it's like, oh, too, man. I used to do all this stuff. And then you end up wasting lots of time where they really need to be talking like 80-20, 80 them, 20 you. All they're really wanting to talk about deep down is, can you get them the result? Can you solve their problem? Do you care about their problem? Do you have the same vision? And can you make them feel safe in talking about that? If they do that and they have the hope you can solve them and you have the same vision, the sale becomes easy and obvious and not pushy and difficult. Doctor-patient relationship, really important. Once they say that, then you really want to go into some of the confirmatory questions. And there's a lot of questions below that you can kind of pick and choose from, and really invite you to really study these and grab the ones that resonate most with you, because there's a whole bunch of questions that are later on in this document that are kind of tactical, that are kind of, mental, that need to be used at the right time. And especially when it comes times of like managing time, excuses, money, I need to check with my partner and that type of stuff. There's some really intelligent ways of going about that will serve them and will serve you. Objection handling is all really important. Acknowledging and agreeing, recognizing them, endorsing that emotion, having empathy, and then reframing. It's like, yeah, I mean, I totally get that. Only thing is, if we do that, then or here's what I'm thinking. What if we were to do this? So there's a lot of stuff in here to chew through, and this is where a lot of the co-creator time is going to be really important, where you kind of talk through these things and role play together and pitch each other. And so we're definitely going to invite you to schedule time for the discovery calls and for the feedback calls with each other. And that's where that is just crucial. It is absolutely crucial to go into that. There's 3 major reasons, and this is really covered in Brian's 2 videos here, but there's really only 3 things that people are working on about why they would or would not. There are internal reasons about beliefs, experiences, low confidence; external reasons, time, money, or approval; and then value, or is this really a fit for their needs, which is really, am I going to get a return on the money? And do I perceive that this is really valuable? That's it. Like all this complexity, all this confusion, all like the anxiety of, am I a good salesperson? Do I have this? Do I have that? Have I done this before? It's all just boil it down into simple things and speak to that, and you'll be good to go. Make sure they understand the process. Make sure they understand the offer. Confusion will lose, clarity will create. And then just invite them to discuss, like, so what's, what feels like the resistance? What feels confusing? What feels, what's holding you back? And once they feel safe, they'll tell you. And if they don't feel pushy, then they won't give you like a brush off answer. It's like a pushy car salesman. Like, look, I don't fucking want it. Like, leave me alone. But if they're having a deep conversation, I trust the guy. It's like, look, it's because I got this, I got that, like, So here's where there is a big question dump, which this is where, studying is needed, finding out your favorites, drawing on these, having some of these questions on a document on your screen or on your desk when you're having these calls is really important. It's really, really, really valuable, because getting them to talk about what happened in the past, what's missing, is your biggest challenge this, or is it really that? Like, is it really no time, or do you feel like confused, or you don't think you'll get the results? And just get them to open up. People will tell you what they really want, what's really holding them back. Getting into the deeper levels of finance, travel, family, romance, like, what's the impact? What are your goals? What are you moving towards? What are you going away from? Like, we're all just doing this. And if we can figure out, if they can see how we sit in the middle and help them advance towards the right things and go away from the bad things, the enrollment is super natural and super easy. I'm going to skim over some of this because it gets a little technical, but you're going to see a ton of great questions in there. And then once you kind of have that, and like, you can really sense and feel intuitively and just logically that you're having a really great conversation, then it's time to close, which is really just offer them the next step in a clear way. So what if you were doing retreats around the world and running them and had a team and you knew how to do it all? You were making $15,000 a month. You were able to start this awesome family and do van life. You're able to take time off and go to Indonesia. Like, what does that feel like? What does that look like for you? oh man, it's fucking awesome. I want it so bad. Like they're going to be enthusiastic about it. Okay, great. Well, let's fucking go. And that's just getting them to feel like it's possible and feel like you really know, feel, and believe that they can, and that's clear and it's really obvious of what it is. So then you can come back to the offering and talk about, look, here's how we're going to do it. There's going to be 3 pillars, 3 modules per pillar, 3 months. Do. At the end of it, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, you're going to do this. And, be careful making promises that you aren't sure you can back up. But if you do these things, the likelihood is that you will get these results. We're going to give you a really clear roadmap to it. I know I'm kind of going kind of fast. Anyone want me to pause any of this stuff? There's just a lot here. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So, more kind of like big step pieces of like being in the certainty, like the one that believes it more will generally win. So look, I know this can deliver for you. Like, I know this is an important thing for you. Like, I'm here to be your advocate. I'm here to back you up in this. And when they really feel that way, then it's really powerful. We'll go into some of the objections below. And then this is kind of like a brief summary of like, I need to think about it, or it's not right now. There are discounts you can do. There are payment plans you can do. Going into the support, going into the connection, and just really staying centered in that. And if they are in that kind of that resistance of like, look, I mean, I don't want to be pushy or anything, but you said this is important to you, so what's the plan for this if you don't do it? Like, how are you going to do this stuff? What can I just ask you, like, what is this causing in your finances? What is this causing in your family life? I mean, do you feel like you're missing out on your purpose? Like being and asking these things in a smooth, charismatic, like graceful way, that's everything. So if you're in the resistance, these are some of the questions you go to. Your prices are a huge part. This is a total mirror of where we all are in life. So that inner relationship, that inner self-worth, that inner journey, that is absolutely the most crucial part. If we don't have that, then just don't do it. But you can do it. You are worthy. You had these dreams for a reason. The divine is inspiring you to bring something epic into the world. This vision is uniquely yours and it's needed. All super important. Yeah. This is a really great process of speaking to former customers and telling them about the program and just saying, hey, can we talk for 10 or 15 minutes about this? I'd just love to get your feedback. Tell them about it. Tell them the pain points. Ask them what resonates with them, and they will give you really important information that will inform your conversations and make all of this stuff super grounded and super easy, because you'll feel, you'll totally believe that you are on the target and that you are talking about things that matter. And just knowing that you have that is extremely powerful, because that's really just will nail your internal state. There's text message scripts, there's email scripts after they register. And then here is the big questionosaurus, where there's a lot of technicalities that you want to study. And this is when you're looking at the internal belief objections. These are the questions that they're asking themselves. And these are where you've got a great back and forth to invite them into a deeper conversation. I didn't write these. Some of these can come off a little bit salesy, but in your own language, if you translate them a bit, there's really, really good basics to it. Belief in the program is the next category. They'll ask about references, written descriptions, guarantees, needing clarity, more about the models, time objections, about your partners, money objections, all kinds of great stuff on navigating through those inevitable questions. And this is where becoming comfortable with having a little bit of tension in the conversation and a little bit of like, I'm a little uncomfortable here, but staying in the knowing of how much better their life will be because of their enrollment with you. Like, that is what's on the other side of fear. That is what's on the other side of discomfort, and knowing and being totally rooted and being totally comfortable that you have a gift to share. You don't need to convince them, you don't need to push them, but you do need to get through their natural resistances and their ego identity addictions to their former self. Like, we're all dealing with that. We're all seeing those things show up within ourselves on a daily basis, usually, or hourly basis sometimes. And they are definitely going to feel that on this call. It's your job to believe in them more than they do. Really, like, that is one of the biggest concepts. And Brian goes really deep in that on one of these 2 trainings. And it's like, you really are meant to be their advocate. You're really meant to be someone that's like, look, you can do this, and I'm going to show you how. And I hear you, I respect it. And what about this? Okay, well, what about that? And asking those intelligent questions and listening. Super powerful. And then giving them incentives. This is a lot of the roads in those previous questions lead back to this situation here, where it comes down to the money, which of course is going to be a thing. And then, like, I hear, like, call them, like, the tie down closes. That's where, like, it gets a little salesy, but there's some really, really great basics to all this. So you got 27 pages of epic Google Dockery there, which I know feels like a lot, but I promise you that within this document, there's some real magic. Any questions? It's okay if not.
Yeah, so basically you want us just to study this, really, just read it, go through it. I heard a little bit about maybe wanting to fill in certain parts with our own information, but I just want to get clear on that. Like,
yeah, yes. So study this, put it on note cards, get a whiteboard, color code it, like, digest it, dissect it, make it your own, modify things, but, like, really own what's in here and make it your own. And then when it does come to the event flow itself, this is where you are prompted to build out your story. And it's a perfect transition, because we'll go into state secrets and our process in more detail here. Anything else on this for now? Otherwise, we'll go to the event flow.
And then the follow-up call, I guess that's when there would be like an actual transaction or a follow-up transaction into some type of 3-month program or one-on-one or whatever we're offering at the end after that feedback call.
Exactly. And so we're going to go through the offer creation and really nailing what that exactly is, what your pricing is going to be, and then that's, again, that's a perfect transition for me. No, thanks, brother. It's good when you know people for a while, you just sort of like read each other's minds a little bit. So at the end of day 2, you do show them the offer. And so, just like we did, I will open this up, as you may recall, and for emphasis here, stage secrets. I'm just going to show the PDF. So at the end of day 2, you're going to say something along the lines of, all right, everybody, well, thank you so much for being here. There is one more big part here, and that is, how we bring all this information together and how you can create this great offer that you're going to create. Is okay if I show you how we do ours, and you can build your model off the way that we do it? Yeah. Okay, sweet. Let's do it. So here is how we do it. Here is what we deliver. This is exactly what we are creating to bring all this information together and make it something you can really take home and really own and get a ton of value out of. What we're going to do for you is help you properly speak on stages around the world. We're going to help you lead yoga retreats. We're going to help you be a healthy, emotionally centered lawyer. We're going to give that big key result. And this is where you build out all that Google formery into this. We teach on these 3 things. This is how we do it. And we go month by month. And then each month we teach on these different things. It's freaking awesome. We have this awesome support community where you get these group trainings and one-to-ones and It's freaking amazing. And it's just $9,700 for 6 months. The first 3 months are our accelerator. The next 3 months are our support community. There's a big discount if you paid in full. We got a payment plan. We got this, we got that. And here's how it all works. And that's it. So we're gonna reconnect on our feedback calls, and I'm missing a couple pieces just like off of memory. Like in the script, there's a little bit different process, but like basically you're teaching them how to build the offer, and like by proxy, you're pitching them on what you're doing. But it's done in a way that there's literally no pressure, because you are educating in the process, rather than saying, you got 17 minutes left, there's a countdown timer, and Russell Brunson's going to come hit you with a stick until you buy it. So, it's different. And if you don't know Russell Brunson, he's a big internet marketer. Does that make sense? Okay, sweet. So let's go over to the old Stage Secrets workflow here. So when you do the event itself, when you are filling this out for yourself, as you might recall, and like I said, I'll put the links to Stage Secrets again into this week's Kajabi. And
oh, there it goes. Sorry.
Got it? Okay, cool. So, getting people, to be excited, and like, you don't have to do it like I do it, jumping around and playing music and being like this kind of wild man that I am. But however you create that bond with people, whatever is your authenticity, that will work. Like, all your people are looking for is you to be like in your most self-accepting, self-expressed dynamic, whatever that looks like. So if it's calm and it's cool, it's like, all right, buddy, thanks for coming. We're going to talk about lawyer mental health wellness. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. Like, just get people to feel comfortable and create a nice vibe at the beginning. And it's just however you create that change in emotion, that's crucial, because we're gonna behave how we feel. And you've got to shift the energy, you got to shift the feeling before you can ask for a change in behavior or a change in thinking or a new idea to come in. And if people are kind of slumped down like this is not learning mode. This is, I'm in my ego. I already know all this shit. Like, why am I here mode? I'm gonna go drink. Like, all right, they're not going to be interacting in the way you want them to. You want them to be engaged, and just shift it somehow. So talk about you're in the right room for the right reasons, and you're describing them. And this is where you're going to memorize and review the notes you've had from these awesome discovery calls. You're in the right room if you want to be, and doing this and doing that and all these awesome things. Here's where we're going to take you from feeling emotionally stifled and unexpressed, and you can't create awesome woodwork, into a place of making awesome wood pieces and being an artist and creating your own festivals. At the end of this masterclass, you're going to get these 3 awesome benefits. Can't wait to show you. It's going to be so fun. And then you want to go into who you are and who I am. And I'm a passionate fire builder, seeking to serve people committed to their dreams, who have wild courage, trust in their creator, a deep passion, knowing now is the time to bring their dreams to life. I don't know if I use that exact copy when I said it out loud, but something along those lines. I'm looking for a team of similar souls so I can put on stage people that want to be personally mentored by me. And we're going to show you exactly how to do that. Or for those that want to be personally mentored, we're going to show you how to do that. I am not, and this is a little bit of like planting the seed of that there is going to be some kind of offer. You don't have to do it that way. This is honestly doesn't super resonate with me. That's kind of part of the structure that I don't really even think I said that in the live one. Who I'm not, and then really being clear that like who you're here for, who you're not here for. What you believe about learning, that's really important. And so this is where I'm inviting people into that heightened state, into being energized, into having good posture, into being really engaged, into focusing, into like knowing that the next 90 minutes or 3 hours is going to be worth your time, but only if you focus. Like, I can only give you what you really show up for. Expectations, the learning, the backstories. This is a really important part of relatability. I talked about the men's group when I met this crazy Freemason who took me on the spiritual journey. It led to me creating Aurea. It's this whole weird, cool story. And we all have our own weird, cool stories. So seeing what's your arc of life that's similar to theirs, and what's your backstory, they can be like, oh, all right, that sounds like me. Like, that's cool. Like, I'm listening. Right. And that relatability is so important. Having a client backstory is crucial. Gerald and Maya Rose came on, and we kind of had them as my client partners, as to fill that role. The breakout rooms, we did that. Any questions? I know I'm kind of just racing through things for time purposes. Okay, cool. So the first teaching moment. So what I talked about was this golden age concept and truth, and that we are, we are here to be part of this big meta thing. And this is where you're going to be. It's your movement. And this sets the stage. This creates the gravity. This creates the space of here is this awesome big thing that we're going to be part of together. This is the bus we're all getting on. This is the movement. And this is, again, why those Google Forms are so important, because they help you really detail this. It's an aspirational ideal. It's calling people to create their own version of that and create their own like deep feeling around that. And then you ask them for feedback, ask them to share their ahas, like what stands out to you? What are you about with like, what stands out to you about the golden age? What does that mean to you? And a quick break, exercises, share and tell is our second teaching moment. So next one was how to build a multi-channel revenue model, tickets, sponsors, high ticket offer, investors, affiliates. And we talked on that and detailed that. And that's where you're going to give your second pillar. Talk about the ahas, the wrap ups, and then importantly, give them something to do that evening. And I say, look, when you go to sleep tonight, think about what it'd be like to get this dream result. What will it change? How will it change your quality of life? And really be in the vision, be in the dream. And this is where ethically, morally, you are seeding the sale and seeding their desire to experience that transformation. And this is where you really must own your leadership, own your power to call them into a better life. And, ultimately, no, we don't know what's best for people, but we do know that we must know and believe that what we have is valuable and will make a positive difference for them. And asking them and inviting them to really feel into that and see into that and journal on it and go deep with it. It's really important, because that momentum is going to carry them, and it's in service to them. It's good at every level. And then make sure you set expectations, tell them about the great things they're going to experience if they do come back, and make sure that they get there. And that is very important. That's a really, really important thing. Similar to the first day, have the music, have the dive in, breakout sessions. And we'll workshop on this more, but just to kind of just nail it here again. And then they go into, the next pillar. And this is where, Maya Rose and I were teaching on this. Wild money. I know what that is. I don't know where those notes came from, honestly. But then, asking on the, Gerald did the hypnosis, which was awesome. Like asking about the ahas, and that pretty much takes you to the offer. And so it's like, then it's just really showing and telling them that document. And it's really beautiful. So that's pretty much it on how the event will go. And I'll share this link in the library also. Reflections, questions, snide remarks.
So this is literally verbatim on outline you used for a 2-day event that you did.
Yeah, brother. This was it. This was literally on my laptop next to my camera right here. And my technical laptop was on my desk. But this is literally what I went through point by point. And yeah.
And it was great. I loved it, clearly.
Thanks. Yeah.
It was really, really good.
Yeah.
But how many times have you done this outline for Stage Secrets?
This one I've done one time, or technically twice, but I did one in November and then one in March. The November one had some differences. We didn't do it quite this precisely. I kind of met Azuro just before that event, and I was able to implement a good chunk of some of his stuff and the mentors that he gets this from, and kind of mix it all around. But yeah, Stage Secrets was the second time.
Nice. And what was the conversion? Like how many people came and then how many people signed up?
Yeah. So on both days what was it? Like 40 people. I think I have to look at my Zoom registration notes again to be offhand, but about 40. And I think there's like 15 of you here total. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, good. Good. So, so yeah, happy to workshop any, any questions, concerns, internal, external. I'm at your service. And if not, we can, all good.
It's just a lot of goodies here to take in. And I'm actually getting very excited. And while you were talking, I already got some ideas to create this online event, actually.
I want to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Woo!
I mean, we already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 people to come.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay.
You.
Yeah, you're gonna rock it. And the key is just taking our big inspirations and our big fears and making them into very simple, small pieces. And when we can break down our big vision into pop, 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 and our big fears into, okay, well, I just need to do this. I just need to promote it. I need to host it. I need to enroll people. Okay, well, let's do it. And there's a meditation for this week that'll be posted. That's really about like the safety and the ease and the physical, like internal state management to really help to like chill out and just do it. And that's really the work. When we feel good, we can do anything. When we feel stressed, we go, oh, I'm scared, not doing it. Tigers, bears, lions, I'm gonna die. But when we just like relax, like we're all crazy, brilliant geniuses. I just need to believe it and feel safe to express it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm really trying not to say it like
You
I'm not.
can do it. You can do it, Jackson. Just, yeah, the feeling. Oh shoot. Mm.
Well, this will all get posted shortly. And yeah. Anything else? Anything at all? Questions, concerns? Okay, well, I guess we can end a little early. Oh, for now, I just see your comment. I always feel like pressure and leveraging FOMO. What I know that's from a little while ago. I just saw it.
Yeah, the whole time, the counter countdown timer and those tactics, you know.
Right. Like it's a tactic. Like it feels like imagine going on a date. Like it's like, okay, well, for the next 17 seconds, I'm gonna consider going on date number 2. It's like, you fucking weirdo. No.
Right, yeah. So in the context of what I'm working on, being at a festival, I do want to have a community, a paid subscription monthly community that the Meta Festival will be funneling people into, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if I'll do like a 2-day virtual leading up to the Meta Festival. So, but I'm gonna grab as much as I, can from this document. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like use what works, discard what doesn't. And the a low ticket membership is great, and it can be really powerful. And the higher ticket group coaching can be a great way of realizing more income in less time. So if you end up being inspired to teach on something, then you've got the structure for that. And if it's just promoting Manifestival and creating the membership community around that and doing $20 a month or 33 or whatever whatever you choose, then that's totally cool. Like you can put all this into whatever format that really fits for you.
Yeah, but if there's something like you said, like a more higher ticket item, then it would be worth like maybe inviting people who attended the Manifestival to do like a day of debrief, or get to know the presenters a little more or something. Give something or people a good incentive to join the community. And maybe for people who couldn't even attend the live event, they would give them a way to enter the community for people who weren't actually their presence. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that working. And, you know, when you think about what the people who come there are really seeking, I'm certain that there is some kind of creative artist, entrepreneurial magic that you can teach on and
Yeah.
that you can create a 3-month program out of. And
Mm.
it doesn't have to be just, you know, a $20 a month program.
Yeah.
And maybe you already feel this, but it just feels right to share. You're worth more than that, brother. Like a
Thanks.
lot more. Yeah. And you've got an awesome story being a professional musician for a long time and holding it down as a dad and as a stand-up human being. And like there's character, there's integrity, there's following through, there's doing what you say you're going to do, which is almost impossible for most artistic people. You know, so I don't know what has, I haven't gone through your forms personally about like what's emerged, like the biggest struggles, the biggest goals, and but inviting you to really reflect on that, because there's probably something that is much bigger that could be offered as part of what you're doing. Because as you know, Aurea and Manifesto got a lot of similarities, and we do the mastermind offers, which I know marketing isn't so much your background, but there's something there. And if you want to shoot me a voice note if you got some brainstorming, I'm happy to workshop it with you.
Thank you. I will.
Of course.
I wonder if Daniela too is feeling that inspiration. I know Fernando feels that inspiration because he's like, but I just remember that last conversation we had about like how cool she was. When you see that breakdown, do you feel like you could put your awesome sauce into that?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. I think I get met with this like resistance in me where I feel like maybe I'm not educated enough or not this, not that, to where I almost fear that I'd be doing someone like a disservice if I don't know what I'm doing or I'm like completely new. So I'm met with a lot of fear actually. I don't feel like as stoked, but I love like receiving this information feels incredibly valuable and I know that I will put it to use. I'm just being met with that resistance.
Yeah, and Lakia, thanks for bringing that up, and Danielle, thanks for sharing. There is a part in the form to really do that, like shame dump, I think I called it in here, and literally like that's really what I'm inviting us all into, is to like go into it like I'm not blank enough to blank. I can't charge blank because blank, and like really like seriously pour. It's the first question, so it's great we landed there, and like let this rip and just go until like you either are crying or until you're like just can't think of any of more things, because getting this stuff out is crucial. And then going into that, really, I call it rock star identity, which is so corny, but I couldn't think of anything better. And like just think of something that that you're amazing at, and then just let it rip on like just saying how great you are. Pretend you're Donald Trump for the day if you need like some inspiration on like bragging about yourself, or like some other narcissistic person. Bad example, but like just pretend that you're like the most like confident like narcissistic person in the world, and just say how amazing you are when you're in your great thing. Okay, it's really really important, because feeling that greatness and translating that into the challenging thing, I know I said it before, really important. And I promise you, you are relatively early in your human experience. And so you feel like you haven't absorbed 1,000 books and courses, but you have an embodied wisdom and joy that's innately yours, Daniela. And like everyone's nodding their heads. Okay. Seriously, like sparkle fingers. All right. Like you like really please find it within you to recognize that you have an artistry that is uniquely yours and is super valuable. And when we're inside the jar, like we don't know that we're coffee, okay? Because we're inside the cup. All right. We just think like, yeah, I'm just this badass, super energetic, happy person. Like everything's fucking awesome. And I love it. I love this and blah, 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 blah. And the world is going like, please, I want to be that. Like, how do I do that? It's like, well, I'm like, but we don't know that you're coffee. Okay. Like you got the coffee, fam. You really, really, really do. You really do. And if you just give yourself the time and space to describe that out in detail and put it into a simple process and present that to people, there are tons of young people around the world that have made enormous impacts on others that were roughly their age, older than them. Like, it exists. Like, there's so many, like, them, like so many Gen Z TikTokers and influencers, like they're sharing their wisdom and people are recognizing that and they're paying them huge amounts of money to feel like they do. Like, ultimately, that's what we all are. We're feeling merchants. Like, we're here to sell people a feeling based in reality, ethically, morally, with integrity. But like, that's what people want to experience, is a better state of being. And I don't want to harp on this too long, but just to make sure I really like crush and like evaporate and transmute like any like concerns around this, because like, you got the sauce. All right. And if you just bottle it up in the right way and share it, like, people are going to eagerly reward you and appreciate you for it. That goes for all of us.